How to close clients so quick it feels illegal. This is the exact system I use to close most of my sales call under 30 minutes using nothing but questions asked in the right order. So, most founders believe closing is the hardest part of running a service business when in reality, closing is the easiest part. The real work happens long before the call ever begins. And once you understand that, every sales call you take starts to feel a lot lighter. When you bring the right person onto a call and ask them the right questions in the right order, the deal tends to close itself. So you don't need to look too pushy, you stop performing and get relaxed, you don't need to fancy scripts. Everything you actually need fits inside one simple system. And in this talk, I'm going to walk you through the exact system I use and my team uses to get to a yes in under 30 minutes on most of our calls. Because the system is simple, but most people get the order wrong, and the order is everything. So let's look at the big picture. Closing a client is the last step in a much bigger process. So before we even talk about the call itself, we need to look at what has to happen before that call lands in your calendar. Three things have to be in place. You need to know exactly who you are selling to. You need a message that makes them want to talk to you. You need a way to actually get them on the call. When all three of these are working together, the conversation that happens on the call is just two people who already want to work with each other, figuring out the details. Simple. When even one of these three is weak, the call becomes a fight. So we are going to walk through each one quickly, then go deep on the call itself. First one is know your ICP. ICP stands for Ideal Client Profile, which is just a fancy way of saying the exact type of person you are best at helping. The more specific you can get here, the easier everything else become. Instead of saying business owners, you want to be able to say something like business coaches in the US doing over 20K a month who want to scale without working more hours. When your ICP is unclear, every call feels random. If your ICP is sharp, every call starts to feel familiar because you are talking to the same kind of person again and again, and you already know what is keeping them up at night. I have a full video on how to build your ICP from scratch, and I would recommend you watch it right after this one. The link is in the description below. Second, build a message that pulls people to you. Once you know who you are talking to, the next thing is figuring out what to say to them so they actually want to reply. Most founders make the mistake of talking about themselves. They lead with what they offer, what makes them special, and how good their results are. The truth is, your client only really cares about one thing, which is the pain they are sitting in right now and how to get out of it as fast as possible. So your message should speak directly to that pain in their own words before you ever mention your service. When somebody reads your message and feels understood, they want to keep the conversation going. That is the entire goal of your messaging. This whole topic is called value proposition design, and I have a full video on how to build yours. Link is in the description. Here you go. Third one, get them on the call. There are two ways to get the right people onto a call with you. Either you go to them or they come to you, and a healthy business runs both at the same time. Way one, you go to them. This is outreach, and the best place to do it is LinkedIn. Especially if you sell to other business owners. The basic flow looks like this. You get yourself a Sales Navigator account. You filter for the exact ICP you defined in step one, and you build a list of people who match job title, location, industry, what they post about. Then you drop that list into a tool like AimFox or Prosper, their automation tool, which sends connection requests on your behalf throughout the day. When somebody accepts, you start a real human conversation with them. You ask about their business, found out what they are working on, and if there is a genuine fit, you offer them a call. So this is what the funnel looks like. LinkedIn search, connection request, conversation. Simple. Way two is they come to you. This is called content. You post videos, posts, or articles that speak directly to the pain your ICP is feeling. The right people see it, and some of them reach out to you on their own. First, outreach gives you fast results and fills your calendar this week. Content takes longer to compound, but it builds trust at scale and eventually fills your calendar forever. Run both at the same time and you will always have leads. I have a full video on how to create content that pulls your ICP towards you. Watch that one too, link in the description. Here you go. Now the call itself. Once you have the right person sitting across from you on Zoom, here is the rule that changes everything you thought you knew about sales call. The person who talks the most on a sales call loses. Read that line twice because it goes against everything most founders walk into a call believing. We tend to walk in ready to talk, ready to pitch, ready to explain everything our services does. And this is the exact reason we lose deals we should have won. The more you talk on a call, the less the client trusts you because talking comes across as selling. The more they talk, the more they sell themselves on working with you because explaining a problem out loud makes the problem feel real. So your only job on a sales call is to ask the right question in the right order and listen carefully and write things down. Everything else takes care of itself. So, what is the 4 question system that I use that makes me close business owners under 30 minutes? I use a system called SPIN, which is just 4 types of questions asked in a specific order. Each type does a different job, and the order matters more than anything else because each type of question sets up the next one. S stands for situation, P stands for problem, I stands for implication, N stands for need payoff. Let me walk you through each one. Question type 1, situation question. These are the warm-up questions, the ones that give you a basic picture of their business. Things like how's everything going? What does your business do? Who are your client? How big is your team? Here is the rule that nobody follows. Ask 2 of these, maybe 3 at the most, and then move on. Most founders waste 15 minutes here because situation question feels safe and easy to ask. They are safe, but they are also pretty useless when it comes to closing the deal because the answers do not move the conversation forward in a real way. 2 situation questions, then move on. Question type 2. Problem questions. Now we start finding the real problem. These are the questions that uncover what is going wrong in their business right now. And they are the foundation that the rest of the call is built on. Things like how many leads are you getting each month if you're a marketer, of course. What do you think is keeping you from getting more? What is the biggest bottleneck stopping you from hitting your revenue goal? What are you losing the most time in your week? So these questions depends on what are the type of services you are selling. For example, if you're an HR consultant, you will be asking what are the people problems you are facing, how many people are leaving each month, or what are the manager or leader problem that you are facing. So these are the people businesses. If you are a marketing agency owner, then you will be asking these questions which are on the screen. How many leads are you getting each month? What do you think is keeping you from getting more? What is the biggest bottleneck stopping you from hitting your revenue goal? All that stuff. Simple rule. Ask 4 or 5 of these slowly and listen carefully to every answer. The temptation here is to jump in and start solving because you can already see the fix in your head. But the smartest move is to hold back. Write everything down and keep asking and save the solving for later. This is the biggest problem I've seen in people. For example, I ask, how many leads are you getting each month? And the prospect says, I'm only getting 2 leads. So now I'm urging to say, oh, you can get more with our system. And most of the people say it. We can solve this problem also. We can solve this problem also. And they keep on solving the problem right after the pain point shows them. And that's the biggest mistake you can do. So, smartest move, I'm saying it again, is to hold back. Write everything down and keep asking and save the solving for later. I'm going to explain why. Question type 3, implication question. This is the most important part of the entire call and the part where almost every founder drops the ball. Implication question takes a small problem the client just told you about and stretch it out into something much bigger. They show the client that the problem they mentioned is actually connected to 10 other problems they have not been thinking about, and that connection is what makes the deal real for them. Here is how it actually plays out. Let's say the client just told you they are only getting 3 leads a month. I'm really sorry that I'm giving examples of marketing professionals here, but you can understand the context and develop these questions by yourself depending on the services you are providing. So the client just told you they are only getting 3 leads a month. A weak founder would immediately jump in and see, we can fix that for you. This is what a weak founder, weak salesman would do. A smart founder asks more questions and said, why do you think you are only getting 3 leads right now? Do you think it might be because nobody on the team is doing outreach consistently? Could that low lead count be the reason your revenue has been stuck at the same number for the last 6 months? Is it the reason you have been working most weekends? Is it the reason you keep taking calls with people who are currently not a fit just to keep something moving? Watch what just happened in that exchange. One small problem about lead volume turned into 5 much bigger problem. Revenue, time, weekends, energy, and by end of it, the client is feeling the full weight of their situation, and that weight is what makes them actually want to fix it. So spend the most time on this part of the call. Implication questions are where deals get won. And once you have asked multiple implication questions, then we come to question type 4, need payoff question. By the end of the implication section, the client is feeling the full weight of all their problems and the energy in the room has gotten heavy. If you try to close them right at this moment, they will say, let me think about it. Because people in a heavy mood almost never make big buying decisions. So you flip the energy on its head. You make them picture what their life looks like once these problems are gone. Think like, if you were getting 20 qualified leads a month instead of 3, how would your week change? If you had your weekends back starting next month, what would you actually do with them? If your revenue doubles in the next 90 days or next 6 months, how would that change things at home? Now they are dreaming, they are picturing the win, and they are halfway to saying yes before you have even mentioned your price. This is the moment where deals become inevitable. Now the close. Here is where the magic of the system really shows up. By the time you reach the close, you have barely said anything for the last 25 minutes. The client has done all the talking. They have laid out their problem. They have made those problems feel real. They have already painted a picture of their dream outcome in their own words. All you have to do at this point is connect the dots for them. Something like, okay, so based on everything you just shared with me, here is what I do. We would tackle this, and this, which would solve the lead problem, get your weekends back, and put you on track to hit your revenue goal by end of the quarter. The investment for the program is X amount, let's say $20,000 or $10,000, whatever the service cost. And the next step would be a simple proposal. Does that sound like something you want to move forward with? This is the entire close. The client closes themselves because you help them see the gap between where they are and where they want to be. And you offer them a clear path across that gap. So, how the 30 minutes break down. Here is exactly how I time a 30-minute call in case you want a clear template to work from your next one. Situation question takes about 2 minutes, maximum 3 minutes. Problem questions takes about 5 minutes, maximum 8 minutes. Implication question takes about 12 minutes. You can stretch it to 15 or 20 minutes, which is the biggest chunk of the entire call. Need payoff question takes about 8 minutes. The close itself takes 3 to 4 minutes. That's it. You don't have to move back and forth with your pricing. You don't have to over explain how you can help. If you find yourself spending more than 5 minutes on situation question, you have already lost the call. Cut it down hard. Last thing, closing is a system, and the system is just questions asked in the right order. Get the right person on the call, ask the right questions in the right order, and shut up long enough to actually hear the answers. Do that consistently, and your close rate will start climbing so fast it will feel illegal. See you in the next one.